Take a good look at my foes. They so exposed. Paint in the picture you know. How about dough? Gluten free. Popo scoping up in that tree. I called them satellites. Why? Cause they hardly pointed upright. Their job they have to lie. Soon as they capitalize on a ticket to court games. Attorney playing judge and the bench sitting. Only there just a practitioner, but made the final decision. Stack you up and all in prison. Battery in the cell, got your E-rings. Musical ball on the iron, try to melt the steel with a teary stare. Catch a guard off guard slipping, teaching that we all more slicking. Heels of Dorothy Gale end up in Morocco tripping. Just I'm a big, that's all I need to prove it. Got my own time to do it. All I need to do is just I'm a big, just I'm a big. That's all I need to prove it. Got my own time to do it. All I need to do is just I'm a big.
Yes, we know it's a city. Big Cat World Champs, not Vancouver Grizzlies, not the 6 or Toronto. This is Morocco, silly. Al-Aqsa, Maghreb, green star on the flag that's red, pheasant turban on the head, living what the prophet said. This is an empire, not a continent, you liars. Black Los Indios are really Moors, said the friars of Cortez conquest. Aztecs or Olmecs, far west Inquisition, kill shaman and queen mothers, stole golden munitions. High priest abolition, death or convert to a Christian. Bible and cross, told the silliest treaty mission. Blessing the guns, indigenous children, killing nuns. American board and residential schools, fools with axe and help funds. Playing games with statutes, revised by hers. Enforce the Constitution, stop enforcing empty words. And speaking in color, foreign jurisdiction assumed. Should have listened to the Moorish master with the turban and the plume.
Just I'm a big, that's all I need to prove it. Got my own time to do it. All I need to do is just I'm a big, just I'm a big. That's all I need to prove it. Got my own time to do it. All I need to do is just I'm a big.
To see the path to build the will build. Persistently, rise we beat. More clear on the goal we foresee. Terminology, empire, development inspires those that are meant to inquire on knowledge that's been retired. Quote unquote, since you don't know we rejuvenate truth. Spreading info, choose how you grow for thyself from one's roots. Dispute until you trust. Trust is a must. To some degree, fill up yet also flush. Health is wealth, builders do agree. It's all up to we, words we choose to use. The more truth is diffused, the less that you are confused. Don't abuse power, notice it may flourish or sour. Some make it, some take it, some give, some receive, and some cower. An hour of decision will know thyself's true position. Either represent this people or an adjective unequal. What's see-through for few is opaque for some. Under sun, nothing new. Fresh spiral growth till done.
Return from the dead, walking out the shallow grave by the hair of Freemason head. Lemurian Moor, decapitate a magistrate or any more debater. Trade his fingers on your pizza, serve the back waiter. Liquidator, sell out instigator. Preset voltage, shock Morris defibrillator. Sitting on a metal chair with their feet in water. Torture, got your daughter, enforcing law like Drew Ali taught her. Try and beg no mercy, prepare for slaughter. Won't wait till midnight, daytime marauder. Not for the booty, but help you get broader. Righteousness stalker, shouldn't have crossed this border. Vampire scared of an order of daywalkers.
Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic.
Say say what you can say, back it up. But need something for me to blaze like the fire, but the pork ain't coming out the flame. Going for it. Think you pull it out, then you went for it. Put it in your mouth, and you're ignorant. So far, never die yet. Cycle back to a private act. About to get touchy. Some say, look, face back up. Put on my pale birthday skin suit on for some random acts. Then cycle back from what country? Head shrunk, the potatoes crunchy. Back country from the lows. Eating hunky dumpy. Process, not the object, I suppose. Wild caught something fresh, grab it up. I'll tell you the rest. Like,
Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic. Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get. It's about to get ugly in here. Grab the mic.
Bag 'em up. Opponents in opposition. Truthfully, I put them in keep bagging them's not my position. I just listen. Let they loose lips feel my clips. When I squeeze these thoughts, seize the growth of nonsense. They pretense. Triggers our true sense. Hence, we may get tense and commence offense. Their words met today. Hear Richie shaking sprays. Since bullets have no names, we actively decay. The way they project and present correct. When they respect the check, allow them to resurrect in retrospect. Or dialects firm for reason. Taking kindness for weakness stimulates that gun season. We are in a state in which you may relate. For those that have yet to reach our stage and relate, let us always stay in a state of building more than breaking. There are some that have forsaken their honor and must be taken.
Back 'em up. It's about to get ugly. It's about to get.
It's about to get ugly in here. It's about to get real ugly in here. Make sure you're not eating. Make sure you're not eating right now. Just make sure you're not eating. Because you don't get that black means death. So we're going to show you what's up with black stuff. We're going to show you. This should be clear. But if it's not, don't worry. Noble Drawley told the Moors, you're not Negro black colored. Why? Because these people have plans for Negroes and blacks and coloreds and everybody else. They have a plan for them. Right? They have a plan for them. Plan that's out there. Ain't no secret. And like Drawley keeps telling you, your own's going to put you back in slavery. Your own's also going to save you. Your own's gonna save you. Ain't no European gonna save you. Sorry. Because they have a plan. If you're claiming you're Negro, then they're not about to save you. They have a plan for you. You know what you are to them? You're delectable to them. How is it that people are delectable to certain people? Like how is somebody delectable to somebody? Isn't that weird? Doesn't that seem odd? Something seem off to you? Oh, but what's off is you're looking at the delectable as a being. It's not a being. The Negro is an animal of the field. It's a beast. And black comes from Negro. So black, Negro and all that is a beast of the field that people kill and eat. Chase it down, throw nets over it and all that stuff. That's what they do to Negroes. Because they're delectable to certain people. Remember, hope you're not eating right now. David Walker, major black abolitionist figure, acknowledged the capacity of slavery to consume black bodies and souls. Huh? Acknowledged the capacity of slavery to consume black bodies and souls? Remember, David Walker is their black abolitionist guy. I don't hear them consuming white bodies. I don't hear them consuming brown bodies. I don't hear them consuming any other thing than black bodies. No yellow bodies, no red bodies getting consumed. Only black bodies. How come only black bodies getting consumed? Because black means death. And a soulless being is dead. And if you're dead, then you're a zombie. And if you're a zombie, your job is just to walk around and do nothing. And just bump into stuff. And once in a while, a body's gonna pop up. Wandering through this wilderness, trying to find their way. And they gotta battle a zombie. They gotta battle a black body that doesn't have a soul. And either they're gonna get bit and then get down with the program, or kill the zombie. Everybody's seen the zombie movies and knows. So it's not some secret Moorish stuff or whatever. This is your boy, black abolitionist guy, David Walker. Go read some stuff that he wrote. Tell me if he didn't know something was up, that we're not Negro, black, colored. But nah, you're not gonna do that. Debate Moors. How about debate David Walker, who told you that these people were eating you in this thing called slavery, that all people want to be attached to and think that that's really how it went down. Oh yeah, you want to be a slave? All right. Let's see how they do with you slaves. In Walker's appeal, Walker depicts a plantation reality where black men suffer emasculation. They can neither protect their wives and children, nor can they themselves escape the all-encompassing power of whites whose malicious hunger, Walker says, gnaws into our very vitals. When you say you're black, this is what you give to this system that you're complaining about. This is what you give them, willingly, because you want to be Negro, black, colored, and you want to debate Moors. We're not black, we're not Moors, we're black people. All right. Remember, this is your boy, David Walker. Don't debate Moors. Go debate David Walker. Don't talk BS about Moors because you choose not to read. You choose not to read. Moors read. And when I read, I'm not trying to be even affiliated with anybody who's claiming they're Negro, black, colored, if this is what's going on. Anybody who's talking slavery and all that stuff means a European's looking at them like food, eat their soul and eat their bodies and stuff like that, gnawing at their very vitals, and they just keep going wanting to be that. Okay. I'm not looking at the vampires weird anymore. I'm not looking at people who's putting their neck up. Why are you putting your neck up? You know that's a vampire. Or you're just going to put your neck up, then the hell? Then put your neck up. So you're not going to be vampiring me. You're not getting my soul. Okay, what they say, what they try. You're not getting my soul. I know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, nothing can buy me to give up my nation. Yeah, right. Nothing. We'll play a little all rights reserved games, but what do you mean you own somebody? Oh, you thought I was black. Oh, no, I'm not black. I'm not Negro, black, or colored. I'm a Moor. Oh, you know about the Moors in Spain and all this type of stuff? Oh, okay. Oh, so you already know what's up. How come you didn't tell me what was up when you saw me yesterday without a baseball hat on? You saw when I had my Rasta hat and all that. You didn't tell me anything. How come now that I'm a Moor, now you're telling me about Moors in Spain and the Moors went here and the Moors did this for the world and all that stuff? You didn't tell me none of that stuff yesterday when I was black. Oh, so this must be some information that everybody knows. And if everybody knows and only our people don't want to know, if our people are the only people who want to put their neck to the vampire, then march and picket forever about vampire marks on your neck. Alright. You take your vampire bites then. Don't get mad. Don't get mad that we threw you the steak, and instead of you jab the zombie in the face or whatever, you want to start making out with a zombie and want to know how come you got bit. And then you're mad at us as if, why are you mad at Moors? Don't be mad at Moors because we're telling you the truth of your own selling you out. Don't be mad. Take that L. Because remember, David Walker's you guys' boy. David Walker, he doesn't say he's a Moor or nothing like that. He's a black guy. He's telling you. You're not hearing what your own boy is saying? Then definitely you people are playing games with people. You're definitely playing games with people then. We know for a fact that you're playing games with people. Because nobody in their right mind should want to be Negro, black, colored if you know that during slavery, they ate people. If you were on the plantation, they ate people. Who were the people on the plantation? The people on the plantation were the Negro, black, colored people, who they told them they're beasts of the field and all that stuff, and they didn't want to go with that. They want to put crowns on black guys and call them kings. That's not no king. That's a black guy wearing a crown. Stop the BS. Where's your nationality? Where's your descendant nature? Where's your culture? You say that you're the whatever, but when we question you on who you are, you keep telling me about some European stuff. You're not telling me about your stuff. Moors could tell us about Moors stuff. And not only us, we ask anybody else and they'll know and put us on to some of our own stuff that we don't even know, that we lost. They know what they're doing though. They know what they're doing. Gnaws at our very vitals. Walker describes, now open your ears, huh? Walker describes the consumptive process as fundamentally an attack on male potency and phallic assertion. Quote, they, the whites, know well. If we are men, he says, and there is a secret monitor in our hearts which tells them we are. They know, I say, if we are men and see them treating us in a manner they do, that there can be nothing in our hearts but death alone for them. Remember, David Walker talking. To Walker's thinking, docile and acquiescing black men are more easily consumed. He advocates instead the virile, radical black man. The man he predicts will glut and violently overflow the consuming machine. 19th century black male abolitionists tended to agree with Walker. They felt that only male virility and a strong paternal role could save black people from social consumption. I noted in chapter 3 how images of human consumption haunted Frederick Douglass. That's people's boy, right? Is it people's boy? People's boy. He describes slavery as a living entity that wore robes already crimsoned with the blood of millions, and even now feasting itself greedily upon our own flesh. Everywhere Douglass turned, he saw slavery. Remember, slavery is not this stuff that they're telling you about some people picking cotton and all this stuff. Slavery was people getting eaten. Slavery was when you saw the burning black guys in the pictures and stuff like that, that was a barbecue. That wasn't, they went to kill a nigger. That was a barbecue. Pick a nigger. Picnic. Where you go to the picnic, and then when you go to the picnic, they got the stuff roasting on the stuff like that, and then you got the guy behind it, and he's turning it, glazing it down, making sure it's really seasoned right. Everybody's going to have the mouth-watering stuff and all that, sucking the bone and all that stuff. Okay, that was a Negro that they were doing that to. That wasn't chicken. That wasn't side of pork. That wasn't that. That was people who want to be Negro black color that they were doing that to. That's what slavery was. Anybody else tell you anything else? They're telling you a fiction. Because on the plantation, according to Frederick Douglass, who's you guys, black guy's boy, they were literally and psychically consuming black people. Used to want to be black? That's how they look at black people, the B system. System that everybody's complaining about. Everybody got secret tapes on some black web of some BS. But you're not going to tell these people that, oh yeah, all that stuff exists because you want to be black. Because you're the founders of civilizations turned to niggers. And then you're content in that place. Because psychically, you've been consumed. What's been consumed psychically? Who your ancient foremothers and forefathers were that was in you. They removed that from you. So now all you're left with is you're a zombie. There's hope if you wake up. Our people like to sleep. Drew even told us, Moors, you sleep too much. But still sleeping. Not even a zombie. They're just out, cold. Narcolepsy. They're sleeping. Know nothing that's going on. When all their black guys told them what's up. All their black guys told them what's up. They didn't even listen to them. So you better go save yourself. And stop relying on these so-called leader whoever's that you never voted for to do something for you. And totally disconnect people from their birthrights for you to follow some fiction that you're a continent and you're an adjective and it doesn't matter what we call ourselves, but everybody else around you has a nationality and they're prosperous. And I'm pushing nothing on them how they're putting it on our people. In the battle between Covey and Douglas, we get Douglas's version of black male might and the gladiator-like potency winning out over the white male parasite determined to suck all vitality from the slave. Right? This is what they're dealing with on the plantation during slavery. The black guys. This wasn't some pick cotton. This is every day of your life. You're trying to stay alive because these people are trying to eat people. And you're talking about some Europeans riding a horse and whipping and all that stuff. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. You're the last people we want to hear talk about slavery. The black guys. And the conscious whoever's. Because trust me, they ain't going to tell you what David Walker told you. So you can know what's going on. To the people who classify themselves as Negro black colored. And put themselves in the jurisdiction to be food for these people. Because if you've been studying Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. Phil Valentine, Rick Smith and all that stuff, you already know that these people, angels came here and mated with the daughters of men and all this type of stuff. And then, certain people aren't all moral. There are some beasts here. And it's not some guy with the pitchfork and all that stuff chasing people. With the horns and a tail. The devil is the lower self in man that we casted off. And instead of just casting it off, we took it to create a being that's going to be starting on their lower self because that's all they know. And now we're complaining that Frankenstein is going nuts, eating everybody. And when we should have not made the Frankenstein in the first place. Why would you take your lower self and make a being? How does that even make sense? You have a higher self and a lower self, and then you use your lower self to create a being. Same dumb people that we have around here today. Same ones, same bloodline. Just like there's always a Cain and there's always a Abel. There's always a brother who's gonna get murdered. That's just the law of balance. You know, don't get mad. This is where it's at. They've been lying to you about everything. That's what the Reconstruction history is. Them lying to you and telling you some false history. Forget about some people came over here with boats. Let's just go with it. All right, they brought millions of Africans over here to this land. And then they put them on the plantation. All the stuff from after the plantation, or put them on the plantation, they lied to you. There was no whipping and none of that stuff going on. There was no whatever. These people were feeding. Because they already know the best meat is the dark meat. They already know. Another black abolitionist, John S. Jacobs, describes slave owners and traders as hungry heirs who partook daily in a feast of blood. Jacobs' most painful memories of slavery enter upon his emasculated and socially consumed father. To be a man and not to be a man, a father without authority, a husband and no protector, is the darkest of fates. Such was the condition of my father, and such is the condition of every slave throughout the United States. He owns nothing. He can claim nothing. His wife is not his. His children are not his. They can be taken from him and sold any minute as far away from each other as the human fleshmonger may see fit to carry them. We're going to go, oh my gosh. And I realized that he called him a fleshmonger. That they're not, when you see this stuff today, oh yeah, Wayfair selling a cabinet for $25,000. That means they're kidnapping children. Okay, that started with us. That started with us being on this plantation, and then these vampires need food. Remember the Blade movie? And then to get the blood, they just pick somebody up off the street, just drain them. This is what was going on during slavery. Why you think in Django he may have murdered? He murdered her just for some whippings, that's it? No, he knew what they were doing on that thing. Whipping is nothing. Whipping is nothing. Talk about man seeing his father eating. Eating. Remember all the stuff that they show you. The guys hanging and all that stuff. That was food. That was a meal. That was a party. And then years ago they show whoever is one of these European whoever's, Lady Gaga or somebody, and then they had a cake made out of look like a human, and they're eating the cake. And then it was a black lady. So everybody, oh my gosh, they made a cake of black people, and that's racist. They can't do that. Not realizing these people are eating you. Are you dumb? You really don't get that these people are. Okay. You want to play games? Oh, all right. But you're on your own with your games, because we already know what these people are about, because we read. We're not just some Negro leader guy. We read. White abolitionists documented incidents of black children literally boiled alive, butchered, and fed to open fires. Or you still think they're playing with black people? Let's see if you still think they're playing with black people, and if you're gonna want them to change, or if you're just gonna stop being black, stuff could change. Because, like we said, we study, and in my studies, the worst stuff happened to the people who were slaves. Now, at the same time, there's stuff happening to people who are slaves. There's free people who they're not even involved. So that would mean that this concept of being enslaved must be voluntary. Because somebody can't put somebody in slavery without them committing some type of fraud. Because any human being will say, hold on a second. What do you mean I'm your slave? What are you talking about? But you can't do that once you have people who's classified as it. That's volunteering. I'm black. Okay, you just volunteered to be boiled alive, butchered, and fed to open flames. You just signed up for that. Just because you said you're black. Just because you said you're black. And we're tripping by saying we're not black. We're something else. So, all right. It's your babies these people are eating. Keep playing around. Keep playing around. They debated and deliberated about whether or not America was becoming a cannibal nation. They were debating and deliberating about whether this colonial jurisdiction called slavery is really a cannibal nation. How cannibals even get in the question? How do we get from bring these people over here to pick cotton or whatever like that to cannibalism? Oh, because the Negro is delectable to these people. This is not a game, but if you want to play, yeah, you know what I mean. They'll feed. Ain't worried about it. They'll feed it. Black men though, as Jacob demonstrates, strove to convey the private effects of human consumption. By situating these factual and philosophical considerations in the context of their personal demise, black men demonstrated how the culture of consumption robbed them of their masculinity, destroyed family units and ties, and portended the literal extinction of the race. The literal extinction of the race because we want to classify ourselves as black. When black man, black woman is the delectable negro. Because the whole slave game was about cannibalism. And these Europeans who are lower self that didn't really, learn anything yet. So they were still savages. The cave mentality among people is what the slavery stuff was. And this whole thing with masters and slaves and all that is BS. If people are wondering, hey, I wonder if we're becoming a cannibal nation, there's probably a lot of eating people going on. There's not no one or two people getting eaten. Little two pictures that they gave you to say some slave stuff and then have you mad because the guy's burning and you're mad because that's racist. No, it's not. That was a barbecue. Because you go to picnics all the time. And you're the only ones that really go to picnics. Now you don't know picnic comes from pick a nigger. And pick a nigger is when they would pick a nigger and then put him on the barbecue. And then when that became too whatever, now you got burgers and stuff like that, hot dogs and all this. This is just where it's at, where it's been. You've been behind. You didn't know. You're thinking about some racism. No, it's cannibalism. Your meat's the best meat, and they want it. And then you're talking about, well, you can't bite me that way. You have to bite me this way because the rights of the people are... Don't get played. Don't get played. If you got questions, put it in the chat. You know you love your Popeyes. You think that's something. You think that's burgers. You think that's burgers. Oh no, see? That's the part where we get messed up. Because we're going to see sick them, but then we're not going to look back at our sick people who made them. Let's talk about those sickos. Don't worry about the sickos that we're dealing with now. That we're stuck with them. You ain't getting rid of them. Because of the jackass from our side who said, hey, let me take my lower self and create another race of beings. Why? Why would you do that? Yeah, the book is The Delectable Negro, but we don't want to spoil people's dinner. But they go in. The Delectable Negro. They definitely go in. Like I say, remember all the pictures with the slavery stuff. All the pictures where you saw the guys hanging and Right? That wasn't some black racist stuff. They weren't chasing people down to tie them to the back of the truck and all that stuff just because they're mad at a black guy. It's aspects of their nature that they haven't got under control. Certain things they got under control. Right? So they create a reflection of it in the simulation, and then have people think that the simulation is what it is. It's like, I think it was Phil Valentine that was talking about. No, it was Asher Kwesi. Asher Kwesi was talking about how the club scene came about. And the club scene came about from the Europeans in the cave. Because brothers mainly go to the club to hit on women. But that's what the European was doing in the cave with the club, hitting on the European women. So they create a reflection to get rid of the karma coming back to them. This is why we said, forget them, let's go to the guys who really initiated this, who really caused this problem that we have to deal with now. That these people are losing their mind right now because it's only getting hotter on the planet. They're getting into defense mode as far as a being who really can't be in the sun and all that stuff or whatever like that. Right? All the things that they had put as far as the reflection in the matrix are all crumbling. Everything is crumbling around them. They really have nowhere to go. And they're in defense mode. It's like you back the raccoon in the corner or whatever. You know what I mean? The boa is going to sink his teeth in you and then wrap you up. One move. It's not going to be some long thing. Right? So they're backed in a corner right now. All this stuff that we're seeing going around right now is because they're backed in a corner. They don't know what to do. They already know that the dam is about to go. They don't have enough time to get themselves out the way and not get it. Right? They know what they're supposed to do, but really they can't do it because then that's going to give up the fact that, you know what I mean, we're the cannibals. The more people not being black, the less food they have. The less food they have, the faster they dissolve. Because they live off of us. Do you understand what it means that these people said the Negro is good to eat? This is like favorite ice cream and stuff like that and all that. And then you get the glass with the good spoon or whatever, so you could like eat this ice cream is like the best. Okay, that's how they were doing with our people. When they're slicing them up, having a meal around the fire and all that. The pig with the steak through the ass and the mouth rotating on the stuff, it used to be you first. That was you first. Why? Because you wanted to claim to be these slaves that whatever, put you in a jurisdiction that you don't even know what you're talking about. Right across that river right there, you were the aboriginal of the land. And then you turn into how you turn into a slave? What do you mean he turned into a slave? How? Right? And don't get mad. It ain't racism. This is their nature. Just like our nature is to love the sun. No matter what, once we're getting sun, we're happy. Once sun's out, we're in our best of spirits. That's just our nature as melanin dominant beings. It's not, it's just what it is. And just like they haven't told the truth about ourselves, they haven't told the truth about themselves. Because it's going to cause even more uproar. Because not only because remember, they already found people in the gym mat rolled up and all that stuff with their organs missing and all that. This is not some new stuff. Right? We're saying stop looking at it from the racist angle. Look at it from the angle of you're calling yourself something that they eat. Slave, black man, black women, black people, minority, all that they eat. They eat all those. So if you're going to call yourself what they eat, you better not be mad because you signed up for it. Right? Right. Walker's notion of the saving of black maternal womb and Harris's idea of the black male grandmother have much to do with Luke and the topic of homoeroticism during slavery. Yet in a commitment to a dyadic mode of thinking, masculinity, femininity, consumed, not consumed, infant, adult, we have tended to overlook the interconnections and overlaps. Luke's master is as much a representative of the patriarchal institution as he is a byproduct of conventions of sentimentally tied to motherhood and maternity. Luke gives birth to his master's dominion and psychic stability at the same time what the master births Luke, makes meaning of his life and person with a consumptive framework. The discourses of hunger and human consumption also have a constructive function. At the same time, they prescribe and delimit black bodies in Jacob's narrative. They allow us to think more broadly about homoeroticism as an index for inversions, body disfigurements, and transgressions of gender and sex norms to reoccur throughout Jacob's narrative. So the plan that they implemented with these blacks to have them under a particular control so they could think a certain way, hence act a certain way, and those actions are not going to be in harmony with where these people are supposed to be going as living sentient beings. It's going to be off in the bushes somewhere with no purpose. All that happened not because these people are European and they're racist and killed the white man and all that. All that happened because we want to be black. We want to be African. We want to be all these things except what our ancient foremothers and forefathers were. And once you do that, you put yourself at the mercy of whoever is your ruler. In our case, we already know that they don't have enough cows to give all these people burgers. You already know. So for a long time, you've been eating your own, which put karmic debt on you now. Because you already know you don't have canines, so why are you even eating flesh like that? You don't have canines? Where do you get canines from? When you have canines, you're animal species. If you're animal species, then you're gonna eat everything bloody. Doesn't matter what it is. Once it's flesh, bone, cut that up, stew that. And they're only where they're at because we're where we are. So now their baby eating stuff now is some echelon thing. Like that's the caviar and stuff like that now. That's the gourmet stuff. Like you have to be, Forbes-less to eat some babies now. Anybody out here eating babies. Right? Baby brain and all that stuff. All that comes from what they used to do to us because we wanted to be black. We volunteered to be the delectable negro. Right? Just think about it. You just wake up and then they're getting ready to dine on your leg. And you just happen to wake up. Like when they thought they killed the cow or whatever. Say the little stuff. Bless the cow. And then thought they killed it. And they gutting the cow and cows looking at them with their eyes open and stuff. All that stuff happened with our people. Just because we wanted to be black. Not because these people are racist or they're cannibals or whatever like that. Because from what we see that, that's some people's nature. So that can't be the reason why they're mad. They're just being who their foremothers and forefathers were. But where they're really supposed to be doing that is in the caves in Europe. They're not supposed to be doing that in the Americas because this is a civilized place. But when the founders of the place turn uncivilized, then, uncivilized is what we got. Because we did it to ourselves. So don't be a delectable Negro. Go to rvbaypublications.com. Do some studying about who you are. Because people have been lying to you. We're not Negro, black, colored, or Africans or any of that. We're not indigenous tribes of none of that. We've been played out of our nationality. And nationally, meaning if you go to any country in the world, they know who we are. And they know we're not some slaves. They know who we are. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. If you asked a question and didn't get an answer, it's because today was a reading day, so I wasn't looking at the chat. So just send a DM if it's anything serious. But bottom line, do not be a delectable Negro. Save yourself. No one is going to save you. There's nobody coming that's going to save you other than you. And since you're here, it's time to save yourself. That's all. We'll just Start there. Save yourself first before anything else. Make sure you're straight. Peace and love to all Moors. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the mothers worldwide. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to all. Islam.